Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized books, please install GKToday Academy app, and there you can get the current affairs in quiz format as well as in the easy digest format. And this is how you can attempt the current affairs quiz. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. This is the name of Telegram channel, GKToday YouTube. The link of this Academy app as well as the link of this Telegram channel is given in the description box. One more thing, you can get this current affairs quiz in text format in our GKToday Academy app. So please install that. Now let's start. Jharkhand banned the manufacturing, sale and storage of 11 brands of pan masala for a year to curb which harmful chemical which is present in them. So recently, Jharkhand government decided to ban the pan masala, and this decision was taken to curb the harmful chemical, and the name of this chemical is magnesium carbonate. So this magnesium carbonate is present in the pan masala and it is carcinogenic. That means it can cause cancer. Previously, Maharashtra and Bihar had already imposed a ban on pan masala. Now Jharkhand was also in news because of 3 schemes which were announced recently to boost the rural employment. These 3 schemes are Birsa Harit Gram Yojana. As per this scheme, rural people will be provided employment opportunity for afforestation on the government land. Second scheme is related to water conservation and to create infrastructure for water conservation, and the name of the scheme is Nilambar Pitambar Jal Samriddhi Yojana. And third scheme, Veer Sahid Poto Ho Khel Vikas scheme. So as per this scheme, sports grounds will be prepared, and all 3 schemes will be started by providing employment opportunity to the people through Manrega. Which international rating agency has projected zero economic growth for India this year? So as per Moody's Investor Service, India's economic growth is going to be 0 this year. Last month, the rating agency estimated that Indian economy is going to grow at 0.2%. Now it revised its estimation and it is 0%. The rating agency also said that India is going to grow at 6.6% in the next fiscal year. So because of lockdown and because of this coronavirus pandemic, the economic growth in our country was reduced drastically. What is the new borrowing target of government for the current financial year after the gross market borrowing target has been raised from the budget estimate? So due to lockdown, the economic activity is dull, and therefore government, in order to provide boost, government is spending more and more, and therefore for this fiscal stimulus, government is borrowing from market. So recently, government has increased its gross market borrowing target for the current financial year to 12 lakh crores. So as per the latest budget estimate, the target was 7.8 lakh crores, but now the target was revised and it is 12 lakh crores. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the economy is crippled, and therefore government is taking necessary steps for fiscal stimulus. What is fiscal stimulus? It means government is spending more and more money so that demand in the economy can be revived. If this step is done by government, it is fiscal stimulus. If it is done by central bank, that means RBI in our case, then it is going to be monetary stimulus. The India International Exchange Limited, that is India INX, that was in news recently, is a subsidiary of which Indian Stock Exchange? So it is a subsidiary of BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, and India INX is India's first international stock exchange located in Gujarat's GIFT city. What is GIFT? It is Gujarat International Finance Tech City, and it is a subsidiary of BSE. That means India INX is a subsidiary of BSE. Now recently it was in news because Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman launched INR USD, that means Indian rupees US dollars futures and options contracts on the 2 international exchanges. One is the India INX of BSE and NSE's IFSC. What is NSE? It is National Stock Exchange. It is important to note that BSE is the Asia's oldest stock exchange, and it was started in 1875. The Union Defence Ministry has signed a contract with which power firm India for infrastructure modernization of airfields. So recently, Defense Ministry had signed a contract with Tata Power for the modernization of infrastructure at airfields. And as per this agreement, the airfields of Indian Air Force, Coast Guard and Indian Navy are to be modernized. So after this modernization, it would facilitate the operations of aircrafts in even poor weather conditions. Now this is to be done under MAFI. What is MAFI? It is Modernization of Airfields Infrastructure Program. Now, if we talk about Tata Group, recently Tata Steel was in news. Why it was in news? Because it decided to withdraw its membership from ISA, that is Indian Steel Association. In fact, the CEO and MD of Tata Steel, TV Narendran, was the president of ISA. He also decided to step down from the position of president of ISA. Now there is one more ISA, that is International Solar Alliance. Now answer in comment box in which country this International Solar Alliance was founded. Now for steel, there is an initiative and the name of this initiative is Mission Purvodaya. And for this initiative, India and Japan are going to collaborate. And Kalingnagar in Odisha is going to be the main hub of this initiative. Which Indian state or union territory supplies the majority of jute bags used in packaging across the country? So you might have seen the jute bags which are used for packaging of food grains. And West Bengal supplies almost 95% of the jute bags used in our country. And because of this lockdown, the production of such jute bags was stopped and therefore there is a shortage. So recently the government announced that even plastic bags can be used for packaging of food grains as there is a shortage of jute bags now. So that is why it was in news. Where is the headquarters of IOM, that is International Organization for Migration? So the headquarters of IOM is in Grand Saconnex, and this IOM is an intergovernmental organization that provides services and advice regarding migration. So the headquarters is in Grand Saconnex in Switzerland. And why this was in news? Because the Director General of this IOM, Antonio Vitorino, said that thousands of migrants have been stranded all over the world because of this lockdown due to coronavirus. And therefore, the International Organization for Migration advised all the governments to allow healthcare and screening facilities to these migrants. Now, Antonio Vitorino is from Portugal. The Prime Minister of Portugal is Antonio Costa, and recently Portugal was in news as it announced Gandhi Citizenship Education Prize. Capital of Portugal is Lisbon. Now, it is important to note that this IOM, that is International Organization for Migration, is UN organization. In 2016, IOM became a related organization of United Nations. When is the time of remembrance and reconciliation for those who lost their lives during Second World War observed by the United Nations every year? So this is observed on 8th and 9th of May to remember those who lost their lives during Second World War. Who was awarded the first Nobel Peace Prize for founding International Red Cross Movement? So, Henry Dunant of Switzerland was given the first Nobel Peace Prize for founding the International Red Cross Movement and for initiating the Geneva Convention. Now, why it was in news? Because every year on 8th of May, the World Red Cross Day is celebrated. And 8th of May is special because it is the birth anniversary of Henry Dunant. Which Indian state or union territory has launched Pravasi Rahat Mitra application developed in collaboration with UNDP to aid incoming migrants citizens? So this app was launched by Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath, and this is developed to provide support to the migrant citizens. So this application is going to collect data of migrant workers, and that data will be used formulating programs for employment and livelihood of these people. The application will also monitor their health status. Now, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently it became the first state to start pool testing. Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently it started geotagging community kitchens, and therefore Uttar Pradesh became the first state to do so. And for this, Uttar Pradesh collaborated with Google. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently it suspended majority of labor laws to boost the economic activity post lockdown. And Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh launched Ayush Kavach COVID app. State government was also in news as recently it became the first state in our country to have in-house facility of virtual courts. Which state-owned institution has approved the project for developing HMABS, that is human monoclonal antibodies that can neutralize the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, through its NMITLI program has approved a project towards the development of human monoclonal antibodies. What is NMITLI? So NMITLI is New Millennium Indian Technology Leadership Initiative Program. So these HMABS can neutralize the SARS-CoV-2. Now recently it was in news that IIBR has developed an antibody which can attack or neutralize the virus responsible for this COVID-19. And IIBR stands for Israel Institute for Biological Research. COIR board signed a memorandum of understanding with which institute to establish a center of excellence for COIR application. Now what exactly is this COIR? So COIR is coconut fiber. That means it is the fiber extracted from the outer husk of coconut. And for this, the MOU was signed with IIT Madras to establish a center of excellence for COIR application. The central government is going to provide the financial assistance through MSME Ministry. Present MSME Minister is Nitin Gadkari. His constituency is Nagpur. And recently, he was in news as he launched India's first intercity electric bus service. And it was launched India's first intercity electric bus service. And this bus service is going to operate between Pune to Mumbai. Now recently, Pune Municipal Corporation launched an app. Answer in comment box what is the name of this app which has been launched by Pune Municipal Corporation in the context of COVID-19. What is the theme of World Migratory Bird Day 2020 that was observed on 9th of May? So the theme was Birds Connect Our World. And every year on 9th of May, this World Migratory Bird Day is celebrated to raise awareness about the conservation and ecological importance of migratory birds, and this day was first introduced in 2006. The phenomena Ibarra that was in news recently is associated to which species? So it is related to turtle, and to be specific, it is related to olive ridley turtle. And when the turtles lay eggs on the coast, this phenomena is known as Ibarra. And recently it was in news that approximately 2 crores olive ridley turtle hatchlings walked in the sea from Odisha's coast. WHO and the United Nations Postal Agency have released a commemorative postage stamp on the anniversary of eradication of which disease? Right answer is smallpox. So recently, the Postal Agency of United Nations and WHO released a commemorative stamp on the 40th anniversary of eradication of smallpox. Now, WHO is World Health Organization. Headquarters is in Geneva in Switzerland. The chief of WHO is Tedros Adhanom, and recently WHO was in news as USA decided to stop the funding of WHO. USA was also in news as recently US President nominated Indo-American Ashok Michael Pinto as a representative of USA to IBRD. What is IBRD? Please answer in comment box. And also answer who was recently appointed as US envoy to OECD. So now we have covered the most important questions of today's quiz. Now let's cover the important news. So first news is related to Defense Ministry, as recently Defense Minister Rajnath Singh approved the abolition of approximately 9304 posts in military engineering services. Now your homework is to find out these posts were abolished on the recommendations of which committee. Next news is related to IEA, that is International Energy Agency, and recently it was in news because it released Global Energy Review. Next is related to MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development, and recently it announced various amendments to PMRFS. What is PMRFS? It is Prime Minister Research Fellowship Scheme. So as per this scheme, that means as per the new amendments in the provisions of this scheme, a research and innovation division will be set up to boost the research. Now, what is this PMRF scheme? The scheme was designed to improve the quality of research in higher educational institutions. Next news is related to India Post and ICMR. So both these organizations decided to collaborate, and as per this collaboration, India Post is going to deliver the COVID-19 testing kit to around 200 different labs in our country. ICMR is Indian Council of Medical Research. It is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Answer in comment box. India Post is under which Union Ministry? Next news is related to NIP, that is National Infrastructure Pipeline. So recently the task force on NIP submitted the report, and this task force had recommended to set up the National Land Management Corporation, and this National Land Management Corporation will help our country to monetize the government owned surplus land. That means how the government owned land can earn revenue, and for this purpose NLMC will be set up. NMLC stands for National Land Management Corporation. So the task force recommended that this corporation to be set up under Companies Act. Next news is related to a term, the Resistance Front. So this TRF is a name of new terrorist group in Kashmir, and this TRF has significant online presence, and therefore it is using the Haqqani and Jaish-e-Mohammed network to target the Indian embassies and other consulates. Now, one homework for you. Recently, CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, decided to initiate the clinical trials of two medicines in the context of coronavirus. Your homework is to find out what are these two medicines. And last but not least is that Punjab School Education Board decided that it is going to promote the 5th and 10th class students without exams. On the other hand, CBSE decided to conduct the pending examinations of class 10th and 12th. So these were the most important news. Thank you, and that's all for the day.